Hi everyone, welcome to week 4. Um, this week is our main week to work on our wire project. So we do have a smaller module this week, but you should really be making progress on your wire sculpture. And this week we have our progress photos due for wire project. So you should be about halfway done by the time this assignment is due, and you're just going to send me what you have done so far. It's going to allow me to give you feedback before the final one is due. It's also going to make it so that you're not maybe waiting till the last minute to start, and we'll be able to see what we're all working on before the final project is due. I have 2 pages of information this week. The first one is material. In this class, we're going to be using such a wide range of materials, and we already have been. And so it talks about how important material is and the considerations that you need to think of when you're deciding on a material. And then I have another page talking about hanging from ceilings and walls. So for your wire project, one of the ways that you can display it is hanging it. And while our wire projects are very light, you might have a heavier piece that you need to use some stronger hanging equipment for. And so that page talks about some of the ways that you might hang a piece on the wall or from a ceiling. We have a discussion board and a reading this week. This reading is about the flow state, or getting in the zone, as I like to call it. And maybe some of you have experienced that flow state while you're making art or in other areas. And so we're going to read about that, and you're going to talk a little bit about your experience, either getting in the flow or maybe not getting in the flow or having a hard time getting in the flow of that. Because my hope is that at some point during this class that you might get into that flow state and feel that, have that experience when you're making. I have another writing assignment due, and that one is for you to talk about how you're using the elements and principles of art in your wire project. So we introduced those elements and principles of art. We definitely use them in our earth art project, and now we're using them in wire. And so I just want you to write about some of the things that you've been thinking about as you've been making, and how you're thinking about line, how you're thinking about movement, how you're thinking about maybe the time prompt as well. All of those could be a focal point, emphasis. Those are all things that you can talk about in that paragraph. After wire, we're going to be working on our next project, which is our Sculpey character. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be designing your own character, and there's some materials that you need for that project. The main thing that you'll need is the Sculpey, and that is in oven baked clay. So make sure that you are not getting an air dry clay, because we're going to work on this project for about 3 weeks. And if you get an air dry clay, the air dry clay only lasts about 24 hours. And so we really need the time to work on and sculpt our characters. So you're going to need Sculpey. You're going to need some 18 gauge wire left over, hopefully. You're going to need some foil. You're going to need paint, brushes, and then any sculpting tools. But sometimes I just like to use a toothpick or a barbecue skewer, or if you have ceramic tools, a needle tool, or Dollar Tree has like a little kit for sculpting. So all of those will work. I will be on Zoom this week, and that's it. Like I said, you really should be making a lot of progress and working on your wire project. It is due the following Tuesday. So if you run into any difficulty, please let me know. And I will be giving feedback on the progress photos probably later on in the week, but shortly after it's due. So that way you can make any changes before you turn it in next week. All right. Thank you so much. Message me on Canvas if you have any questions, and we'll chat online. Thank you. Bye.